Cello and happy new moon. I'm Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to the new moon for June. And of course, we are releasing this on May 30th because that is when the new moon is happening. And we had two in 1 month. This is one of the longer months. So I'm hoping that you enjoyed last month's new moon musings. I know I was following it to a T, and man, oh man, like last month was really intense for me. Those cards hit the mark, and that's exactly what I was experiencing, as well as we were able to sort of, I want to say, marker certain things that were occurring in the global arena as well. So that was a really cool experience. And this month for June, we've got another new moon, and I'm really kind of hoping, fingers crossed, that things are going to lighten up a little bit. I know that we're kind of in it for the long haul energetically until 2024. But you know, I'm open to some ebbs and flows. So, and maybe you're feeling the same way too. So normally I do this new moon musings with the fabulous Niki Mueller. She has had some personal things going on this month, so you get me, the Black Feather Intuitive, and I'm going to do what I did a couple of months back when she was on vacation, and I'm going to pull cards, and I'm also going to pull an accompanying feather for each of those cards, because I am not an astrologer, and so you know, it's very fun when we have the astrology going on with it. But when in Rome, you do as the Romans, you just make do, you adjust, you adapt. So here we are. So today I'm pulling cards from the Lightseers Tarot deck from Chris Ann. And let's just see what our new moon is turning out to be like. Oh, I love it. Queen of Pentacles. What a great card. Okay. So Queen of Pentacles represents an individual who kind of has it all together. This is an individual who has all of their ducks in a row. You know, they got plenty of money to go around, or at least they have the security of financial peace, or they have the security of knowing that they can manifest whatever it is they need in a moment's notice. So there's no fear around abundance and needs and resources. This is an individual that people can trust. They go to when they need assistance. They go to when they need nurturing. They go to when they have, I want to say, health problems or health concerns. This is the individual who can really just show up and always has a kind word, a wise word, a piece of advice, a solid direction, a network, you know, a referral. So I feel like this month, when we're talking about our new moon cycle, and of course this is on May 30th, so we're going to be feeling this for 2 or 3 days after sort of May 30th, what I'm feeling for all of us is it's really about getting into a space of understanding that we truly have everything that we need within us. And it's up to us to release some of the fear around this idea that we're going to be destitute, we're going to not have anything that is required. It's really an invitation to step into trust of your divine dream team, the trust of source, whatever source is for you. I call them the divine dream team, but whatever source is for you, your higher power, higher self, you can reach out to the angels, God, you know, whatever floats your boat. It's about building trust. And this card inherently isn't a card that says build trust, but that's how I'm reading it. So the next few days, we really want to be stepping into a space of looking at what we have instead of what we don't have. So that abundance mentality versus the scarcity or lack mentality, and not being afraid to reach out to people that you know can help you out. This doesn't mean you have expectation when you reach out. This is more that you are connecting to your heart space. You're manifesting, connecting to your intuitive guidance, connecting to source and saying, point me in the right direction. Show me the way. Show me who can help me. Show me who is willing to give me what I need, or who is willing to provide a path through which I can get my needs met. Or, universe, bring it to me. I'm open to receiving it. Let it show up on my door. You know, let it be easy. Let it be effortless effort to receive. So really thinking about how you can build trust in your dream team and in your inner guidance. I feel like that's super, super important. And then our accompanying feather, I almost forgot to pull the feather. Last time, I don't know if you guys remember, but I went through 2 or 3 cards before I realized, oh crap, I forgot to pull the feather. So this time I kept the feather jar open. We've got understanding on a beautiful yellow feather. So abundance, joy that is coming through, and understanding. When we're talking about building trust, it's understanding that that trust is there for us, that we are not here to live our lives as pawns on the large game of life. Although we are on a large game of life, we have the ability to be once removed from it. We have the ability to observe it and to enter into it as we choose, as we see fit. The majority of humanity really lives the game of life not understanding that that's in fact what it is, and that they have, I want to say, more choice in their lives, more responsibility over those choices and how their lives turn out. You guys watching this video already have this awareness and this understanding, so it's up to you to apply it. You know, how are you going to use it? I'm going to reach out and I'm going to ask for help. Or maybe I'm the person that is that is offering the help. Maybe I'm showing up and I'm the person with the ability to nurture, with the ability to provide reassurance around resources, to provide some level of assistance. There's understanding. And that's what this next 2 to 3 days is bringing you, is an understanding that, okay, yeah, sometimes life is a bit of a game. So how do I want to play it? You know, I can strategize. I can choose. I have the ability to co-create in this world. All right, so our next card is the Waxing Crescent Moon. And this is going to be 2 to 3 days after the new moon cycle. And of course, they all sort of blend in together. And you will be in the energy of the Page of Wands. And Page of Wands is a really great energy because so the Ace of Wands is like pure potential. It's inspired action. And then the Page of Wands is creating the plan to make that inspired action palpable, to bring it into, I want to say, into being, bringing it into the physical. So there's a real energy of, I'm hearing playfulness, but there's also an energy of true inspiration, and the kind of inspiration that really lights a fire under your butt. So I feel like every one of us is going to really be kind of in a space of recognizing, ooh, I've got a great idea, or ooh, I know exactly where I want to go. I've been wanting to get away for a while, but I haven't known where to go. Oh, I know what this is. And then acting on it. So Page of Wands is the plan, getting a plan together, doing a little bit of research, being open to the energy. But look at how much fun she's having. She's twirling that wand around. She's creating a beautiful ring of fire. She's in control of what's going on, but she's not controlling it. She's in the flow of that energetic spark. And Wands energy is energy. It represents our energy, our passion, our desires, how we're moving forward from a soul perspective. So really feeling like each of us want to take advantage in this waxing crescent of receiving this new inspired thought, or receiving the inspiration to be able to complete something that you're in the middle of, and taking advantage of it and saying, okay, I'm not going to be impulsive about it. It's not impulsivity. It's, ooh, perfect idea. All right, how do I execute this? You know, how do I apply this? How do I make it happen? And I feel like there's a sense of, because there's no one else in the picture here, what I'm kind of sensing with this card is that it's something that you're doing on your own. So it's something for you. It's not necessarily that it's not going to involve other people, but I feel like you are the one who's making the decision. You're the one who's making the choices as to how this is going to look. So I feel that there's a sort of a solo energy, but it's an empowered solo energy. It's not, I'm all alone and I have to do it by myself. It's more of a, ooh, I want to call this my own. I want to make this my own. And in order to do that, I'm going to kind of do it not my way, but do it the way that I'm being called to follow. You know, this is intuition. So how am I being called to follow my intuition? And then I can share that result, or I can share that plan with others, and then maybe invite others to help me really enact the plan, but it's my plan. So definitely feeling that there's a lot of energy coming up around that, where we are going to be inspired and moving forward. And oh, this is reaching out to me. Oh, okay. Emotional awareness. So even though this is the card of the energetic and the soul space, I'm hearing that the emotional awareness feather is coming up, because in order for you to really facilitate the kind of plan that is going to make this inspired action the best that it can be, I feel like you have to have some emotional awareness around it. So tapping into what I'm feeling about this. And again, she's feeling really excited and she's feeling free. So it's understanding that, ooh, when I have this level of inspiration, here's the effect it has on my emotional state of being. I feel happy, or I feel excited, or oh my God, I haven't felt this motivated in forever. Or wow, I'm feeling really contemplative at this time and I wasn't expecting that. And let me enjoy that feeling for a moment. Let me sit into that feeling for a moment. The emotional awareness feather, I feel, is coming up because it's also giving you an opportunity to increase that level of emotional awareness. What helps me to feel inspired? What helps me to feel connected? Especially the last couple of years, we have been in a collective phoenix. And when we are in a collective phoenix, sometimes in that pile of ash after we've spontaneously combusted, that pile of ash isn't clear. We're in the process of letting the cake bake. We're trying to figure things out. We're trying to figure out how we want to come back together. It's kind of breaking all the pieces apart and then putting them back together, but not necessarily in the same order. And so I feel like that emotional awareness feather is coming up to give us the option to really expand into that and understand how these changes and shifts are happening. Moon energy is intuition. It's shadow work. It's the unexpected. It's the things aren't always as they seem. And so when you're opening to that, it's very important. It's a big part of our lives. It's a big, big part of our lives and our emotional state. All right, so we're doing the first quarter moon. We got another page of swords. How interesting. I was talking about Page of Wands and how it's not impulsive. There isn't impulsivity. Page of Swords has the energy of some impulsivity. It's actually more a Knight of Swords that tends to be very impulsive, but Page of Swords can have some of that energy as well. There's this idea of, as you can see, she's got a lot of thought bubbles here going on. They're light bulbs, so they're aha moments. She's reading a book. She's juggling. She's balancing. She's walking a tightrope, but she's not particularly overly concerned about it because she's got a lot of support. She's doing something new and she's excited about it. And the wind is sweeping her up. There's a lot of activity here. And when we're talking about the Page of Swords, it also is that sort of inspired thought, right? It's having those aha moments. And I love that we've got two pages together. So that means that for that, I'm going to say that 7-day duration, there is going to be a lot of, I want to say, innocent energy that is connecting to a new plan. And it starts with the energy and then it moves into a thought process. So if you're thinking about, ooh, it's an inspired action and I could do this and I could do that and I could do the other thing, and you're planning how to do that, this is also now going to say, and how can I take it that step further? How can I make this energy really work for me? What are the new approaches that I can take? How can I logically and rationally apply this? But this also, it's not all logic and rational. It's also intuitive. How can I listen to that intuitive guidance that is guiding me to bring the rationality and the logicality, Staceyism word, into the world? How can I bring this idea into the world in a way that is going to be, I want to say, logical enough that it makes sense, that I can actually make it tangible in the world. I need to think it through. And so I don't have all of the answers, so I'm going to go and I'm going to research some of those answers before I take that next step. But I'm definitely in it, and I keep hearing the word committed. I'm committed to the path. I'm committed to the path that I'm creating. And of course, I'm open to that creation process. I'm open to that creation process, maybe shifting and molding, being in the ebb and flow of my thoughts, being in the ebb and flow of this process. And I'm also very much focused on how this is going to come about and excited about it, excited about these new processes and these new approaches. So very interesting. Oh, and I'm being called to this pink feather. This is part of the problem when the jar is open, I see color. And I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. Oneness. So the Page of Swords energy, again, like I said, it's inspired thought, doing things a bit differently, incorporating the intuition into that. How do I logicize this? Again, another Stacyism. How do I logicize it and bring it into my reality in a way that's going to make sense to me? Not necessarily to anybody else. It's going to make sense to me. I'm going to do this by recognizing that I am truly connected to Source and to all that is. Oneness. I am one with the universe. I am one with the sky. I am one with the ocean. I am one with the wind. I am one with fire. Right? I feel like there's a real sense of, and this ties into that emotional awareness with the Page of Wands. You're connecting that emotional state with your energy. And now the Page of Wands, it's the intellect, the intelligence factor, and the intuition that's coming through that is allowing you to step fully into and I'm doing this for myself, but I'm doing this because I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for all. Because I'm connected to all that is. I am one with everything. And as a result of being one with everything, I can tap into all of these different aspects that every being, every creature on the planet has access to. Every one of us we're all walking the path towards the same goal. I mean, spiritually, the same goal, but we're all doing it in a very unique way. And if we are all one, that means we can tap into other people's great ideas. We can tap into the intuition that other people have received and are offering or sharing. And we can sort of weigh and measure it against our emotional awareness, how we're feeling about things. And we can decide to apply it or to move on based on what that is. But all of it is connected. We're all one. That's really cool. All right. So now we are passing out of the first quarter. And so I should have said whenever we are in sort of the gibbous and the crescent of the waxing energy, the new moon is like, okay, we're still doing some work. There's a lot of work to be done. We've still got a lot of energy and impetus to reach up to the full moon. And the full moon is the sort of the peak of that active energy, moving forward, taking steps, wrapping things up, getting further ahead along a project. And then when the waning comes in, that's when there's more, I want to say, a reflective energy. So we're still in that more active space and active energy, and we're in the waxing gibbous. I've got my little cheat sheet here because when I'm reading and I'm in the clouds, I can't keep them all straight. Crescent, gibbous, waxing, waning. I get it all mumble jumbled in my head. All right, so waxing gibbous. 10 of Pentacles. So loving this because we started off, our new moon was Queen of Pentacles. So I'm feeling that also sets the tone for this month cycle, is that it's very much about the material. It's about health and wealth. It's about real deep connection to the roots, to Mother Earth, to our bodies, being really rooted in our purpose and having that show up in the world. And so 10 of Pentacles is very much that I've arrived at what I set out to achieve. I had the inspired thought, and now I recognize that inspired thought has now become something very tangible, and it's joyful. In this card, they're representing sort of a family dynamic. And so family, of course, it's a concept. So this is not everybody's ideal version of what family looks like for them. So think of it as a concept of, a unit, a community that has come together, and you've put this together. This was something that you desired, something that you put out. You were looking for this. And 10 is new beginnings based on an already established foundation. And I feel also with this card, there's some ancestry. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of review and evaluation around what exactly we feel that we are trying to create. There's so much shifting, so much changing that is occurring. There are some pretty horrible, awful things that are going on in the world. We can be the change. So how do we recognize through this page energy, the wands and the swords, how do we recognize as we're moving forward and identify what we really want to come out of all of this tragedy and horror? Do we want to perpetuate it, or are we ready to step up and say, no, I'm going to do it differently? It's not necessarily that one person has to, bear the weight of changing the world all at once, sort of overnight. But each of us has the power to make significant change and to step into the concept of what it is they're trying to build or trying to create. And so for you, this particular period of time in the waxing gibbous, it's about understanding that there's still some action that needs to be taken. You've got some resources, you worked hard, you achieved something, you achieved a goal. And now how do you want to A, experience that goal, B, take some of what you've learned from that goal or some of what you have gathered and apply it moving forward? And then what do you want to do with it in terms of how am I going to reinvest it? How am I going to really open up and begin something new using the fruits of the labor, the fruits of what it is that I worked hard for. So I feel like there's active energy towards creating a concept that brings you the most happiness and joy in relation to what you want to see on the planet, what you want to see for humanity, and what you want to see in your own neck of the woods in terms of your specific community. So very much, I want to say it's going to be a card of community for us, and focus will be on community. So you'll be planning parties or planning little gatherings and get-togethers with friends. You'll be seeking out different community. I feel that this is going to be a very social time for a lot of individuals. And it's social from the perspective of it's not necessarily that you're bringing strangers into the mix. It's social in terms of giving some love to your community space. And through that process, I feel like when we are talking about sort of the emotional awareness, the oneness of things, you're also really connecting intentionally because you're saying, I want to be a part of this community. I'm choosing to be a part of this community, and I'm choosing to show up and contribute to this community in a way that feels best for me. And you're going to be supported. So the feather that we're getting is the support feather, and it's on a beautiful green feather. And I need to mention that the oneness feather, which was the Page of Swords, the card before it, pink is one half of the heart chakra. It's the unconditional love, self-care, self-compassion, self-forgiveness. And the green is the other color of the heart chakra, which is the healing, healer, healed. So 10 of Pentacles energy, all of the work and the effort that we're putting into that 10 of Pentacles energy is also, I want to say, healing for the heart. And you're going to be supported in providing that healing, offering that healing to your community, and also receiving it from the community that you are building, that you are already a part of and wanting to expand, or that you're simply stepping into and nurturing at the time. Loving that. Okay, so now we are at our full moon. And this is always fun, always entertaining. And I believe we're going into our Gemini full moon. I could be completely wrong on that. Again, I kind of suck when it comes to the astrology and how all that works. I'm a novice. But I believe that it is connected to the Gemini moon. So we are, and that might even be actually the new moon that we're moving into. But there's a lot of energy around, I want to say, communication this month, even throughout the whole spread. How are we communicating with one another? And when it comes to the full moon, this is the peak of that energy that we are stepping into. So this is okay, I've put in the work and the effort in this cycle. here's what I've arrived at, and now it's time to either wrap some things up or to be more reflective about what's coming through. It's not that you're stopping the work or the energy, it's more that you're stepping into a bit of a different flow. This is the waning, so we're relaxing into it. So, full moon, Two of Cups. What are you attracting to yourself? This full moon, what I'm really feeling is the question you're going to be asking yourself is you're going to be looking around at what's in your world, what's been showing up for you, what's been arriving on your path. Have you been asking for it? Or is it a reflection of something that you're not aware of? Maybe you've been asking for it in an unaware fashion. You know, maybe it's part of a pattern or a cycle that you're caught up in that you're not aware of. This is the opportunity to become aware of this, because Two of Cups is the card of attraction. I also like to call this the soulmate card. So anyone who is involved in a particular soulmate dynamic at this time, I feel like this is also reflective of interesting conversations with that soulmate energy around what is being reflected back to you through their eyes. Now, this is normally how I describe sort of the Lover's card, but this is what I'm getting around the Two of Cups in full moon. So I feel that there's a lot of reflection that's going to be happening back and forth. You're going to be reflecting into someone's eyes or reflecting back to a person what you're noticing, what you're seeing about their behavior, their choices, about who they are. It could be a lot of truth. And sometimes truth is a beautiful thing. And sometimes truth can be a bit uncomfortable. It's always beautiful, I should say. But sometimes it can be happy truth. And sometimes it's like, I really didn't want to hear that. I didn't want you to tell me that. You know, I wasn't ready to hear that. So this full moon, be prepared to learn things about yourself or to see your reflection through another person reflected back at you. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you the opportunity to say, what is it that I'm attracting to myself? What is it that I'm perhaps putting out there that I'm unaware of that would be bringing this behavior to me? Or maybe it's a positive thing. Wow, what energy have I been putting out that is bringing this to me because this is new or this is fresh or I haven't felt this in a while and I want to keep it up. So you're going to be asking yourself a lot of questions around what is it that I am attracting to myself. And the full moon, I feel, is really going to reflect that energy in a pretty big way because it is acting as the mirror. And what I'm actually seeing with the moon, and this is funny because the moon regulates the water, but I'm seeing this smooth as glass. The moon is just like one big ball of water. And of course it isn't, but I'm feeling like intuitively I'm receiving that connection to the water. It regulates our emotions. And so it's going to be one big pool of water, but it's going to be clear and smooth. You're not going to be able to mistake this. It's not something that you're going to have to guess at or you're going to have to search for. It's going to be very on the nose. It's going to be very in your face and very clear. So how will you receive that? You can receive it. You can receive it any old way you want, but how are you going to choose to receive it? Because the information is showing up to help you, not to piss you off, not to frustrate you, not to say you're not doing enough. It's simply there as a reflection so that you can look back and see what is it that other people are seeing? What is it that I'm putting out into the world? And is it what I want to continue to do? Celebrate life. And it's on a blue feather. So again, that I want to say sort of the ocean of emotion, the water energy, the water theme that's coming up. There's even water coming into these beautiful cups in the card. And the message is to celebrate life. So this also, I feel like this is coming up because it's saying, yes, you're going to be reflecting and perhaps there are going to be things that you're going to see in that reflection that you're not totally thrilled with. But it doesn't matter. It's all important so that you can celebrate life. It's okay. I can see that I'm going in a direction that I'm not really thrilled with. So I can stop and make a different choice now because I'm still in that energy. And I'm moving into more of a reflective energy so I can take my time to do that in order for me to truly be able to celebrate life and to embrace it for all that it provides and all that it offers. Very cool. Okay, and so now we are in our waning gibbous moon position. And again, we're going to be in this waning gibbous position for 2 to 3 days. Two of Wands. So this is the second time that we've got, we got the 2 pages back to back. Now we've got Two of Wands. So we're coming out of that. What is it that I'm attracting? And we're stepping into what direction would I like to take now that I have received that information. So we're also, it's interesting. We had Wands and Swords. Now we've got Cups and Wands. So Cups is the realm of the psychic, the realm of our ocean of emotion. And Wands, of course, is that fire, that soul flame, that energy. So this is very much a very intuitive, very psychic time where you're receiving that intuitive and psychic guidance and you're saying, and now what do I want to do with it? What direction do I want to take with the information that I've received? 2 is the energy of partnership, pairing, union. It's also duality. And what I'm hearing is it's the duality that we are going to really be putting our focus on, putting our time and our attention into is, wow, I'm seeing something that I wasn't expecting. It could be, I wasn't expecting it in a positive. It can be something that I wasn't expecting in a bit of a negative, or it can be a neutral. Okay, I received exactly what I thought I was putting out there. Now I can take it a step further and say, is that, continuing to work to my advantage? Is that continuing to be the way that I want to show up? This period of time is giving each of us, I want to say, the opportunity to reevaluate and make a course correction if we feel that a course correction is needed. Maybe you're not feeling a course correction is needed. Then what you're going to do is you're going to evaluate what is transpiring and you're going to recommit to your path. If you are making a course correction, you are committing to a new path. So I'm hearing the word commitment coming up. And I feel like that's what we're stepping into when we're talking about the waxing gibbous, is there's the energy of committed. What am I committing to? What am I committing myself to? Is it something that I want to commit to? If it's not, I need to stop and make a different choice, because there is a level of, especially with this attraction, what am I attracting? And now I'm committing to what it is I'm attracting. So I want to be very clear on my vision. What is it that I am actually trying to get to this month? What are my actual goals? What are my desired outcomes? That's what you want to overall be thinking about, because these cards, this energy, these days are really going to support a desired commitment. And when you have support for that, it's a message, kind of like going back to the Queen of Pentacles. It's that message that, as you're building that trust with your divine dream team, they are going to bring you what you commit to. They're going to continue to show you what you are attracting and continue to bring you that because you're committing to your path. So you want to be clear on what that is that you're committing to. And I would say if you're unsure, don't not commit because you're afraid. This isn't a fear exercise. This is a trust exercise. It's simply saying, based on what I'm evaluating or what I'm observing that's being shown to me, being reflected back to me from the world, I am pleased with that or I am displeased with that, and I'm shifting that up so that now I can commit to this new path, because this new path is going to be supported in some big ways and it's going to happen quickly. This is not something where I'm going to have to wait for, 10 years for this to show up. I feel like this is going to be happening very much in the now. So once you commit to that path, you're going to start receiving signs and steps and next steps and all of that stuff. It's going to start moving and you're going to feel it right away. So you want to be able to embrace that. And no fear. Or if you have fear, of course, we all have fear to a certain degree. If you do notice fear, I want to say, fear is ego. So give fear a lollipop and a coloring book, put it in the corner and say, occupy yourself for a while because I'm busy growing. I'm busy trying something new, and that's okay. Peace. We've got the peace feather. Sorry, I'm trying to show it here. So there will be peace when you commit to something. And you don't have to worry about, am I making the right decision or the wrong decision? You're simply committing to a path, and the universe will say, all right, they've committed, and now let's bring them what they need. So I really feel like there will be peace when you commit. And it doesn't matter what you commit to. It only matters that it's your choice to commit. You're making the choice to commit to that path. That's all that's needed. That's all that's required. So don't get too caught up in the head around that path or that choice. Simply make that choice. That is what is going to bring you peace. let the rest go, and step into the peace of knowing that the universe has got my front, back, sides, bottom, and top. I'm going to have all the things that I need to make this happen. And I'm deserving and worthy of it. I'm absolutely deserving and worthy of it. Okay, so now we are at the last quarter moon. The quarters are always really significant. I feel like when we talk about quarter moons, it's kind of like that. Okay, this is not our last opportunity, but we're really like we're deep into this energy. We've settled into this energy, and so make it work for you. Some of the, I want to say, the gibbous aspects are the bridges to the, sort of the cardinal points. If you think about it like a compass, it's the cardinal points. Okay, so for our last quarter, we've got 3 of Pentacles. So we're heavy on Pentacles energy in the reading. And 3 of Pentacles is a card of collaboration. So I'm feeling like this is really significant after we're leaving the 2 energy, recognizing the duality or the reflection of things, what it is that we're stepping into and creating. The 3 is the next step, and it's saying, okay, I've committed to my path. I've chosen that path. I see what I'm attracting. I'm committing to that path so that I can continue to utilize what I am attracting in my life. And now I'm collaborating with it. I'm reaching out to others. And I mentioned that in one of these other cards here, that it was about community. I think it was 10 of Pentacles. So it is about collaboration. It's about reaching out and asking for what you need, or I want to say taking what you need. And this isn't exactly like a stop sign or a stoplight, but that's what it looks like to me, even though it's a kind of a macrame crocheting thing. I'm going to say it feels like the stoplight, where it's red, yellow, or green. And it's up to you to, I want to say, collaborate with others so that you are following the signs that match you, or following the lights that match your light, how you are moving forward. Are you feeling that you're at a red light right now and you need someone to come in and help you to turn it green because they've got a piece of information that would be helpful to you to be able to move forward so that you can get a little unstuck. 3 is also the energy of creation. And I feel like there's an aspect of, okay, I know that I'm attracting these things to myself. I know I've committed to a path, and I know that I can get there on my own, but it's going to be so much more fun and so much more efficient and quick when I involve other people in the mix. And I'm discovering that there are other people who want to be a part of that mix. There are people who want to help and want to see me thrive. And that's really what I want to focus on, because I do want to thrive and I want to feel like others support me in this path and I support them. And it gives me the opportunity to show up and to say thank you for the assistance and to say, I'm willing to help you too. Let's do this together. We're not alone in all of this. I'm also feeling a real strong energy here around a creative flow when it comes to, I want to say it feels like creative ideas that you're able to manifest into the physical quickly. So let's say, you've got one of these inspirations. We were talking about that with the Page of Swords, and you're working towards the plan, but there's something that just doesn't seem to flow properly. You're really feeling stuck. Like you're like, okay, I know this is a good idea. Why isn't it working out? I feel like the 3 of Pentacles is inviting you at that time to get unstuck with it, because it's going to say, hey, be a little more creative. Think outside the box. Part of that is bringing in fresh energy or bringing in a fresh set of eyes to take a look at it. And they can say, oh, that's a great idea. Why don't you try it from this angle rather than, coming at it from this angle? Bing, bing, bing. Oh, green light's a go. Now I can move forward. So I really feel like that energy for us in the last quarter is purposely designed to connect us, purposely designed to help us to ask for help, to step out there and to receive that inner guidance and receive that, I want to say, that psychic knowing and that those steps through other people. It's like earth angel energy. So really feeling that. And we got the manifestation feather. So it is about manifestation. And sometimes we need a little help. We need a little guidance to really get into that manifested space where we can say, okay, this is exactly what I want to manifest. And thank you for putting those words together, because I was not saying the right words. And I knew that what the words that I was coming to were going to bring me less than what it is that I'm actually seeking. So collaboration helps you to manifest fully into the world exactly what it is you're trying to create. So that's a nice supportive feather message from our dream team. And then we have our waning crescent. So this is the 3 days before we step into the next new moon energy. This is I want to say it's kind of the last kick at the can in terms of that, bringing the energy out of that waning phase. Now you're amping up and ramping up to be able to get into a more active cycle, things that you're doing, especially when we're talking about the collaboration. You're collaborating with information that now you're going to be able to apply again. So coming around to that cycle. And so with the waning crescent, we have the Ace of Wands. And I think I mentioned it earlier. The Ace of Wands, so aces are pure potential. The Ace of Wands is truly that, okay, I am feeling myself. I'm feeling my energy. I'm feeling the stirrings of something new that can quite possibly come to life and be really freaking amazing. It can be really powerful to step into my own soul flame and my own fire. And what can come of that? Out of the fire, things are forged. Strength, fortitude. If we think about, the sword, which actually is the symbol of the air energy and intelligence, the sword gets forged in the fire. It gets strengthened in the fire. It gets strengthened when it is in alignment with its soul path and purpose. So I'm feeling like the final 3 days of this particular new moon cycle is inviting us into something new, where all of the sort of the foundational work that we've been putting into committing to our path and really moving forward and collaborating and getting all of our ducks in a row, now the magic is really going to happen. And I feel that there's the birth of something even newer than what this cycle presented. So what you're going to notice is, from an intuitive perspective, you're receiving all of this sort of inspiration, you're laying out the plan, and then this says, oh, and by the way, here's the best part. Here are the sprinkles on top of the cupcake, is that not only is what you've just created going to come to life and be meaningful, but it's going to have an added layer. And that added layer brings so much more depth, makes it so much more palatable, or that's not the right word, makes it so much more exciting and tasty and useful. It's like taking you to the next level. What is it? There's that chef that used to say, we're kicking it up a notch. That's what this is. It's like adding extra cayenne to your chili and making it just that extra special, giving it that special touch. And I feel like these 3 days, collectively, all of us are really going to feel hope. And I feel when we tap into that energy of hope, there's also an energy of that inspired movement forward. It's the inspired action, the inspired place. You're going to find a place to put your passion. You're going to find a place to direct your passion. I feel like this is also giving you a place to focus your energies in a slightly different way that's going to assist the collective in some way. This is going to show up very differently and very uniquely for each of us. But there's definitely an energy of focus. How are you shifting your focus, or where are you putting your focus to add your skill set, your desires, your soul flame, your soul path to the collective, to help the collective out? Coming back to, what is the vision that we have globally? What is that vision that we are creating for ourselves? That 10 of Pentacles. Now you're going to really be able to put it into practice. Ooh, I got chills as we're talking about that. All right, and our feather, the corresponding feather for that, we got another green one. Spiritual alignment. So the Ace of Wands, I'm talking a lot about soul, and we've got a heart feather. So it's the heart and soul combination that is bringing us into spiritual alignment globally as well as individually. So it's really important to step into that knowing in these 3 days that we're talking about, the knowing that I am being spiritually realigned. So everything that transpires, my thoughts, my feelings, my passions, the impetus to move forward, my motivations, it's all bringing me into a deeper spiritual alignment. So allow it to unfold. Don't get frustrated or mad at it. Don't try to stop it. Be in the flow of it, because some really big stuff is transpiring, and it's all for us. It's for us and for you individually. So it's accepting that, opening yourself to receiving that. And then, oh my God, okay, a feather just fell out, and I'm going to keep it a surprise what it is, but it's going to be this. It's going to be the feather for our soul card. And you guys are going to just die. You're going to die when you look at it. I'm telling you, you can't make this shit up. All right, so our soul card, and our soul card for this month is basically, I want to say, the ultimate goal of our soul for this new moon spread. 4 of Cups. So it's a card of review. Some people also review this as a bit of disappointment, but what I would encourage you to do is when you're looking at this card, it's notice how she's got the beautiful rainbow colors behind her. She's got a beautiful, bright, sunshiny day with a full tree and grass behind her, and she's not paying attention to any of it because she's in her head, but she really needs to be in her heart space. So the goal, I want to say, the overall goal for all of us this month with this cycle is to start paying attention to what is around us, not getting so focused on what we don't have, stepping more into what we do have, and recognizing it and honoring it and showing gratitude through the heart space. And the feather that goes along with our soul card is trust. And I was talking about trust, and I kid you not, it fell out of this jar. I was talking about the Queen of Pentacles, which isn't a trust card specifically, but the message was trust. So we just got validation that you want to trust in the process and trust in the path and trust in your heart space. Trust in how things are moving out. Don't get caught up on the cups that have spilled over or the cups that are gone. Let go of that so that you can step more fully into what new is coming into the mix, because that is what matters. That's what we're working on the most. And 4 is foundational. So all of this energy that's coming up for us this month is really helping us to lay a solid foundation through which we can always access our heart space and trust in what that heart space receives and gives to us. Trust in our ability to expand that heart space and to be safe and secure in that, knowing that we have all of our resources, Queen of Pentacles, we have all of our resources, that we have people that are helping us out, and that there's a newness. I'm just looking at all of this. So we've got Pages, which has that kind of 1 energy. We've got the 10 of Pentacles, which is a 1. We've got 2s and 3s, which is cyclic. We're 1, 2, and 3. So we're definitely moving in a systematic sort of way. And we've got that Ace of Wands, which is a 1, pure potential. So this month, this new moon cycle is very much about new beginnings, fresh starts, and stepping into what that looks like. We're at the beginning of the numerological cycle and pattern of things. And it's helping us to get to that 4, which is creating the foundation through which we can get bigger and better as we go along. Wow. All right, guys, that is our new moon musings reading for this cycle for June. Sending everyone so much love. Tune in next month where Niki Sue will hopefully be with us again, and you'll get some of that astrological, astrological information that helps out. But hopefully the feather and the intuitive guidance gets you started this month. And, feel free to put in the comments. You can always watch this video and kind of go back to the different cards based on the different time in the month that you are. And feel free to put comments in about how this is affecting you. I'm going to make a concerted effort to come on a little bit more often as well and maybe do a little live or do a little comment on where I'm finding it, and sort of comparing the energies to where things are at globally and within our prospective countries and things of that nature. But don't be afraid to kind of come back and review this, because it's always fascinating how it really truly does line up with whatever is sort of transpiring in our lives. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate your support. If you like what you see here, feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on that YouTube. And we will see you next time. Take care.